have been going down in Austin, Texas.
Back, I promise. I promise I'll bring him back.
Dude, I've actually seen somebody, like the cops, wheel a body up from the actual lake.
Okay.
So
Actually, I have a guy in my building actually drowned 2 years, like a year and a half ago.
He drowned?
Yeah, well, allegedly.
I will bring him back.
Oh, shit.
the cops wheel a body up from the actual
sad.
lake.
Okay.
So
Actually, I have a guy in my building actually drowned 2 years, like a year and a
Who
half
from
ago.
Texas in here
Yeah,
right
well,
now?
allegedly.
I'm gonna be honest, my son misses his dad every day. He wants to know what happens to his dad.
Put your hands behind your back.
Wait, officer.
Put your hands behind your back.
Wait, actually?
Do you understand what
They
I'm telling you?
arrested
Yes,
my
sir.
boy
That's me
Tyler.
getting arrested and taken to jail by APD after jaywalking and asking them about 13 dead bodies found in Lady Bird Lake in Austin, Texas since just January 2022. 11 of them men, 2 of them women, and only 1 confirmed homicide. APD says the rest is either accidental or suicide, but families of the victims want more answers and more investigation. As
Remove
police
it,
claim the
Texas.
cause of death is mostly
Tiffany's, I'm tired of
accidental
this
drownings,
world.
as primarily drunk young men wander from the famous bar district called Rainy Street and into the nearby river. Many Austin locals fear there may be something far more sinister at play.
My
Advanced
brother's death was
tech.
not accidental.
Oh,
Countless
there's
theories
definitely-
ranging from the smiley face killer to a Dexter type APD officer
There's
behind it. There
definitely
are
a
over
lot of serial
90,000
killers
members
active.
in this Facebook group chat entirely mistrusting the police's official narrative and serve as a testament to the questions and concerns the public has. Is there a killer
Six
or
tomorrow.
killers actively on the loose? And are they still out there?
Still asking questions.
All right, all
Move
right.
on.
All right, chill.
What do you think you are? What you are?
Now, my investigation began one
Real
tipsy
gay.
evening when I got a little too curious and asked Austin police a few too many questions, apparently.
All right, I was asking these gentlemen about the Rainy Street Killer. I asked them if they were engaged. Now we are engaged. How you doing, miss? How you doing, sir? How you doing? All right, I got respectful distance. No, I know you're an honorable lady.
Why would that be questioned?
Well, we got 2 cops right here, and I asked them about the Rainy Street Killer and
About the what?
the Rainy Street Killer.
Killer?
Exactly.
You guys crazy?
That was
I know
like
you're
Lawrence.
totally unrelated, so you have a great night. Officer,
Yes. What is going on with the Rainy Street Killer?
it's alcohol. People get drunk. Do you genuinely believe that? Officer, I talk to you. Please, I pay my taxes.
Can we have a brief?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Stay out of the road.
Yes, sir. Even when the sidewalk's counting down right now?
Sidewalk's right. Even though you're just in the road,
Okay.
43. Stay out of the road.
What are your thoughts on
Damn.
the Rainy Street Killer? Thank you for that alarm, by the way. That's totally necessary.
Just get out of the street.
All right. I pay my taxes.
Genuine question, not that deep. As a upholder of the law,
What are your thoughts on the Rainy Street Killer? I'm doing a little...
no time for that, brother.
Officer, don't leave me, please! I believe I may get arrested right now.
You're getting arrested.
Wait, actually?
Yeah.
Wait, for what?
Put your hands behind your back.
No, wait,
Put
officer.
your, put your hands behind your back.
Wait,
Put
officer.
your hands
Ew.
behind your back.
Wait, actually?
Do you understand what I'm telling you?
Yes, sir.
Put your hands behind your back.
Yes, sir. My phone is on the ground. Officer, for what exactly? Oh, dang. All right, you can do fentanyl, you can kill people, you can... Wait, can you... No, I was simply asking the officer about the Rainy Street Killer. Apparently this is emblematic of a broader question, perhaps. Perhaps there is, in fact, a Rainy Street serial killer. The APD is incapable of... What did I do? There are potentially larger threats at...
Oh, Tyler got a
I'm
little
not
too
making my
tipsy.
flight to Florida, folks. I'm taking a seat. Thank you, officer. Thank you for treating me with respect. I appreciate it. All right, I am going to jail. We gotta solve this serial killer. It exists. I'm here
Damn.
with my man Quentin. We just got released from jail. I was charged with use of a sidewalk after asking the officer about the Rainy Street Ripper.
With the police response seemingly
That's
so
crazy.
absurd, it's substantiated in
That
my
is
mind
so
that there was
crazy.
something
Like the amount of shit cops let slide, and the amount of drug use and abuse and stuff they let slide, and then like they'll arrest you for shit like that.
else going on here at the very least
It
when
can be
questioning.
illegal.
After being released from jail 6 hours later and pleading guilty to not using the sidewalk, I then spent the next day scrubbing through Reddit threads and Facebook groups of concerned Austin locals convinced something else was going on here besides the official narrative.
Arrest
So I
someone for
decided to
that.
meet up with families of those found dead in Lady Bird Lake who have spent years with unanswered questions and a lack of closure. Let me introduce Mitch, Martin Gutierrez's brother. Before we talk to Mitch, I want to thank the sponsor of this video, I'm being March, to give me personal news from
Finished up school, got a job here at one of the local hospitals, and my little brother Martin would always come out here and visit. And January 1st, He moved here in 2018, lived with me and my now wife out there in South Austin and everything. We'd go out all the time. Yeah, man, that's when it all began.
Waffle maker.
We used to go out to Rainy Street. You know, Rainy Street back in 2018, you know, it was huge. Everybody was going out there. It was the bar district to go to. One night, we had gone to a dinner with my wife's family and everything, and I had to call it a night. It was Sunday night. My brother wanted to go out with a bunch of friends out to go watch some football. So they went out to Rainy Street. They went to one bar, got out to Luster Pearl, and he, well, according to his records and everything, we looked at it, he purchased one drink and my buddy got him one drink. By the time he got from Luster Pearl to Alibi, which is connect like next door, he could barely even stand. Looking at the footage of him just leaning on from, yeah, two drinks. My buddies and then his. I could see him leaning on the bar. He was trying to talk to people and he was like, you know, off his normal behavior from what I saw. He left on the outside, so the guys he was with never even knew he left. And so he actually had a text on his phone from my buddy saying, hey man, where'd you go? Like, are you gone? You know, whatever, but he never responded. On that footage we had seen, my brother is like a, you know, he's a big bulky guy, you know, like a powerlifting kind of guy, and to see him go out of the bar, he was skipping. His behavior was completely off. You know, I know Martin through and through, and I, you know, drank with him multiple times, and it just something was off. And anyways, he actually texted a good friend of ours, and he's like, hey, do you mind giving me a ride? And she was like, oh, I'm still at work. You know, she's a nurse. And yeah, she's like, I'm sorry. And he's like, oh, that's okay. But she said that he called her, and he kept repeating himself. She's like, are you okay? And there would be no reason for Martin to go into that area. We looked at the footage in front of that convenience store, and Martin never made it in that direction. You have the towers of Town Lake, then there's a little convenience store here. We have the last footage of him. You can either go to this convenience store and go past it, or this little like dark cul-de-sac, you know, that's right over here.
Damn.
And there would be no reason for Martin to go into that area. We looked at the footage in front of that convenience store, and Martin never made it in that direction. So for some reason, I got a feeling he came in this cul-de-sac area.
Make sure
I
you're
have
paying
no
attention,
idea
because
why.
we're gonna at the end of this video, we're gonna see if you guys think there's an actual serial killer, or like these people are actually just drunk or drugged up and wandering into fucking water.
Would even be an option for him. There's no houses, or no, it's just a big circular dark area where people can park their cars. Yeah. My brother was a very kind person, you know, very gullible, and just thought the best in everybody.
It looks
so
nice.
if someone was to say, hey, like I have a flat tire, or hey, I need some help, he would have gone there, helped, asked questions later. I got a feeling maybe someone took advantage of that. The next day, we were a victim of routine. We went to the gym every day. Like, I get off of work, we go to the gym, do our routine. Come 5 o'clock, he never called, never showed up to the house, never responded to my text. I'm like, hey man, are you okay? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, dude.
Nothing.
And how close are you guys?
If I can't get a hold of my brother for like
we live together.
7
you know,
plus
we text
hours
every day. We send memes
I'll
to
call
each
my
other
mom
every
and
day.
dad.
Like that kid.
I'll like call him a bunch. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Are you alright? Are you dead? Are you alive? Like, I'm a protective older brother like that. Like, one time he like, I don't know what the fuck. I think he honestly got like really drunk the night before. I think I texted him at 7 p.m. Didn't hear from him. 8, 9, 10. And I didn't hear from him. It was like next day, right? So I was texting, calling him all night. And next day, not for sure pacing it. Listen, if people, I don't see them in stream for a while or type in Discord, I come and hunt you down. I come looking for you. What the fuck's the deal is? You know, at least come like see if everything's okay. I mean, if someone wants to go, I mean, I'm like, gotta say, oh no, don't go. But like, I'll come check in. But like, I think it was like almost 24 hours I haven't heard. And like, I called my dad. I was like, yo, need to go over to Ben's and see what the fuck's going on. And my dad got there and he was just passed out asleep.
He was my best friend in the world. When we'd finish each other's sentences, and we'd just quote movies all the time. He was a wonderful human being. It's hard to find people like that. Reached out to my buddy, and I was like, hey man, I know you were with Martin last night. He's like, dude, he left the bar. We never figured out where he went. And so I had a bunch of friends go out to Rainy Street asking questions that night and all this. I was calling, I was trying to reach out to people and see what, you know, if I could find any answers regarding my brother's location or what happened, or, you know. And then the next day, I called my boss, said, I'm not coming into work. I need to figure out what's going on with my brother. So I went to all the local hospitals like Seton, St. David's, looking for a John Doe, see if maybe somebody had, you know, come in. Okay. There was nothing. And then we put out a post on social media, and then I went to the police department and filed the missing persons case. So within about 3-4 hours, I had KXAN, Spectrum News, like all these people reaching out to help us get the word out on my brother's situation. Austin Search and Rescue coming all the way out here with the helicopters. They had boats and everything coming to look
in the water.
In the water, all around here. They had apparently this infrared technology that could look and see inside the water and see if they could find anything, and they found nothing.
And at this point, was it their belief that he may have been in the water, or they ruled that out?
They ruled it out. It was a huge relief for me. I was like, oh, thank God. He's got to be somewhere out here. Maybe somebody got him or something. Like the thoughts in my head were just from here to here, man. Like a million thoughts of what.
I don't know what I would do.
Had a whole
brother
group
was
of people.
missing.
We had family, friends, coworkers, even random people just looking to help us out. And we would collaborate every morning at like 8 a.m. and then we would just have a search party. I want you to search here, do this, put flyers out here, do what we can to find them. So we focused the majority of our searches on land over here because we ruled out the water. We did the same thing. We'd look from sunup to sundown, and it didn't matter the weather. It was like 20 degrees, man. It was so cold. We kept our searches going for days and days.
Houston,
and then
Texas?
November 26th, I got a text at 5:30 in the morning saying, I have your brother. If you tell the police anything, I'll cut his fucking throat and I'll send him to you piece by piece. I woke up, I panicked, I freaked out, man. I told my mom, I told my wife Whitney, I was like, I got him, he's alive. Like, I fucking found him, you know, like I got him.
Breaking my
I was
heart,
like
bro.
terrified, but I was happy at the same time. They were like, I want you to go to this location and I want you to text me back. We have people watching you. We know where you are. And so I did whatever they said. I gave my wife a hug and a kiss, and I gave my mom a hug, and I said, if I don't come back, like, I love you, but I will bring him back. I promise.
Yeah,
I promise I'll bring him back.
Bro.
And I left my house with no intention of ever coming back because I was.
You thought you were gonna die?
I was. I did. So I went all over the town. They wanted me to send them, hey, send this gift card. I want you to send me this. Like, I was so naive because I didn't have any answers because I was scared to call. I didn't want them to see me pull up my phone or anything like that because they said they were watching me. At 10 a.m., I had a meeting with Detective Donovan and the APD on what we could do from this point on so that you know we have him. And I was like, okay, just please let me talk to him. Send me a picture, something. Like, just give me some reassurance he's okay. And a good buddy of mine who worked for the Travis County Sheriff's Department were there to help me in that whole process. But even before we got started, they said they found a body that matched Martin's description. So I had all this hope that he was alive and that I was gonna get him, and it was a hoax. Those guys were just taking me for money.
How much money did they take from you?
They ended up getting about $3,500, $4,000. They were adamant, even after they texted me after I told them, like, my brother's body was found, don't fucking text me, lose my number, this and that. They were like, no, those are lies, that's not him, we have him. You know, they continued.
That's insane. That's like
there's
evil,
a whole
bro.
new place in hell for people like that.
People
and
are
2 weeks
so
after he was
fucking
found,
evil, bro.
someone went to his Wells Fargo and emptied out his bank account. Someone went through the drive-through, forged his information, and emptied out his bank account. We were like, oh my God, like maybe that was the guy. Girl, whoever, went to get surveillance. They didn't have any surveillance at the bank. Wells Fargo Bank did not have the surveillance necessary to catch who emptied out my brother's bank account.
No footage.
Zero. We begged for it. We got the cops involved. Nothing. The bank reimbursed the money. Never did anything else. We never got any answers. It could have been the person.
Oh my
Same thing with
God.
Luster
I
Pearl.
heard
We were
that.
able to get
That's
surveillance
insane.
footage at Alibi. You know, all these locations, the towers of Town Lake, all of them were cooperative. Luster Pearl refused to give us any surveillance that would help in the case, saying that they couldn't do anything unless their manager was available. So as soon as the manager came back after the holiday, they got the footage that we needed, gave it to the police. They gave the wrong date of footage and then deleted what we needed. At this point, it could be anybody. It could be bartenders. It could be someone sitting in that location that was watching him. I don't know.
Why would they
someone spiked his
delete the
drink
footage
or
when they
whatever.
know
But
that
my
the
brother and
police
I
were requesting
never did
footage?
drugs. No, it was just all alcohol. I mean, his toxicology, I've put it out there for the world to see. It was alcohol only, but they did a basic tox panel. Benzodiazepines, opiates, THC, all that stuff was negative. Cocaine, like nothing. Like we didn't do anything. It was just alcohol. But they don't check for like other agents, like roofies and all that other stuff. Like, but I heard that they're starting to check for Rufalin now, and they caught it on one person. I am like begging for the city of Austin to put up lighting and surveillance in the area, something to prevent this from happening so that other families would never have to go through this. There has been 30 plus bodies that have gone missing. All male, all, you know, very similar characteristics, all off of Rainy Street, and all end up in the water. I mean, at this point, it's not coincidental. These are not accidents. The evidence is there. Austin Police Department is real quick to say that all these are accidental. As soon as my brother's autopsy came back that it was accidental, they closed closed this case. They did that for all of them. Jason, John, all of them. Like, I mean, they just, all accidental. My brother's death was not accidental. To get from Rainy Street all the way out here to this water, even in this little dark area or the convenience store, it's still 300 yards still away. Like there's no way like he would go this direction in the middle of November, 20 degrees. My brother was the best swimmer I've ever met, but there's no reason for him to be in that water. So my brother's autopsy, I just tore that thing apart trying to find some kind of answers. You know, I've been a nurse practitioner. I've been in healthcare almost 16 years now. So the two things that stuck out to me was that he had a contusion. So a contusion is a bruise. In order for a human being to create a bruise, you have to have a pulse. Police were saying that, oh, he fell off the bridge, he hit his head, he drowned. If he would have hit his head, drowned immediately, he would have never had this contusion develop on the back of his head. That's not possible. Also, too, when they found him in the lake, he was face down floating. So if he had been in the water the entire time, floating face down, his eyes would have been clear, but they were opaque, they were cloudy. Air had to hit them, the sun had to hit his eyes. I do believe that someone hurt my brother and also hurt all the other ones.
What do you think happened to him inside the bar?
I think somebody drugged him.
Okay.
I do. They deleted what we needed, and now I will never know what happened to my brother in that bar. Martin went missing on the 19th. On the 26th is when he was found. It was one of those things to where the APD, we had so many issues reaching out to them. Like Detective Donovan was so hard to get a hold of. We had new surveillance. I'd send it to him. I'd email it to him. A response would come back a day or two later. I'm like, dude, you gotta be more on this. This is an active missing persons case. You need to be responding within like minutes, an hour, and we were not on the priority list.
How did APD do when it came to looking for your brother, keeping you informed?
So the APD did an absolutely terrible job with my brother's case. There was people asking for wrong dates of footage. It was hard to get staff to help. It was hard to get people to respond, but I just didn't feel the urgency. I didn't feel like they truly cared.
Todd Doe is in the building. Thank you so motherfucking much for the sub, bro. 15 months, chat. God damn, that's over a year. I appreciate you contributing to the daily sub goal too. Maybe we'll get some morning cartoons in the morning.
After
I appreciate you, my brother. How you doing?
In the water. Apparently they were full of shit because they didn't believe their own initial search. So now they went back to the water. But someone found him. There was some guy that has an apartment right here off of Riverside. Went out with his cup of coffee in the morning, saw a body floating, and called 911.
Police didn't even find him.
Nope. It was a random person in their apartment. Their misled information deterred our searches elsewhere, and he was here the whole damn time.
Was that your hunch initially, or was that your fear?
That was my fear. I was scared to death he was going to be in the water.
Do you think the APD is involved?
Honestly?
Personal belief.
Personal belief, in my opinion, I think that the Austin Police Department has some kind of education or something on it, and they're just not telling us. I can't remember what year it was. It was after my brother had passed. There was a gentleman who was a police officer that was cornered in Container Bar. So Container Bar was a pretty popular bar on Rainy Street as well. They cornered this police officer. There was people in like suits, like trying to get this guy. Guy pulled out a gun and shot himself in the head in the middle of Container Bar. My buddy was working on Rainy Street, told me all about it. I mean, there was police all over the place. I mean, everything. And a police officer shot himself in the head after getting cornered by, I don't know if it was FBI agents or something, but something happened and they just brushed it under the rug. So I got a feeling, so this is what I think happened, is I think that someone hurt my brother, maybe asked for like, or hey, I'm an Uber. Hey, I need some help with the tire or something like that. My brother, like I said, very gullible, very helpful. And he would have gone over there and then someone hit him on the back of the head and then drug him, took him wherever. At this time, bruises developing, eyes are changing, all this stuff. I don't know when they decided to put him in the water or whatever, but I got a feeling after all this happened, that's when they put him in. Last year with Jason John's situation and all that, we were able to make enough noise to where the Austin Police Department actually put out a public statement saying that there was no risk to the public, there was no serial killers, nothing like that to be scared of, continue to do what you're doing. They even continued to refuse on social media now.
I think the APD is gaslighting the public.
Carter, this is a video about an active serial killer in Austin, Texas. And they found 13 bodies. It's January 2020.
Possibility of there being a trend here or a serial killer in this instance.
I very much agree. Yeah.
Why?
Money. What? Like this all happened right around South by Southwest.
Okay.
We made enough noise to where the city was like getting hit, and they were affected by this. So they built this large fence, this wooden fence, all right before South by Southwest. So they said that they were doing something to protect the public. Follow the money, man.
But since your brother, there have been several people found in this water. People are still dying out here.
People are still dying.
Is there anything you could get to give you more peace about the situation and about the loss of your brother?
Answers.
Okay.
You know, my therapist has said it was a
Still
compound
active,
trauma.
yeah.
You know, it's been almost 6 years in November that my brother's gone missing. And every time another body goes missing, I've worked so hard to kind of push forward, never to move away and just completely just move on, but to at least make step forward.
And they found
and
the
then
bodies all in the
another
same place.
body goes missing and it rips off the Band-Aid, and I'm right back at step one. It's been hard to get back to moving forward because there's no changes.
Something happened to my
When you
brother,
hear about
chat.
another person dying,
If something happened to my brother, chat, I don't think I'd ever be able to move on. I'll be 1,000% honest.
found out here, does that trigger the same
I
feelings
feel
you were
bad
at
for this guy.
when Martin went missing?
Every time I hear of one, I go out walking around. I mean, I'll bring a friend and I'll just try to help out the best I can. Same with Jason. Their families deserve that, and I felt like it was my part, because Martin, if he was here, he would have helped me search.
Have you lost faith in the APD?
I have zero faith in the Austin Police Department. They treated all these guys like numbers. If they were to sit and just line up all these families that have lost significant other or a brother or dad and just look them in the eye and just say, we don't care. It's exactly what they do to us. They don't care. They're full of shit.
Thank you, Mitch.
Hey,
Thanks for sharing, brother.
If Martin was only observed to have
Matty, I
had
can only
2 drinks,
imagine.
how would he, a strong swimmer and
find
a
this
big
shit at
guy,
the
seemingly get
APD?
intoxicated
Really?
at all and walk all the way into
Since
Lady Bird Lake and
2016?
drown? With a
Or
Facebook group
recently?
full of over 90,000 concerned locals who
Wouldn't
don't
be.
buy this narrative, how many people actually know about the 12
I would be
accidental
cooked.
deaths found in this water since just January 2022?
1000%
Do they think there was a
cooked shit.
killer at large? And how hard is it actually to drown in Lady Bird Lake while intoxicated?
I asked the cops, do you think anything's going on here? They said no, just a bunch of young guys falling in. And then they threw the book at me, took me to jail for the night for jaywalking.
That's how you hide stuff from the public, right? Like you arrest
I
people
agree.
for asking questions and make them seem like criminals.
Do you think there is some suppression of vital information regarding this string of deaths? I'm not saying murders, but deaths regarding this lake.
I would say that there are 100% murders, and the police are definitely hiding that and stuff. I've been hearing about this for a long time. They've found how many bodies at this point? There's definitely something going on. I mean, how many other cities have like 13 dead bodies floating around in the river? Like probably not that many. I heard somebody saying something about like the smiley face killer or something, where they're seeing smiley faces printed where the bodies are being found or where people are disappearing from.
But I mean, like if there is a killer or something, that definitely is going to be concern matter. Everybody should try to stay safe.
Do you think it's that easy to walk all the way from Rainy Street and end up in the water?
Rainy Street's right next to the water.
I mean, that,
Okay. Yes.
that would
We're about to
end
test
up.
that theory right now.
You jumping in?
I'm gonna take 6 shots and get in the water.
Okay.
The APD is gaslighting the public and calling their
Yo,
concern
where?
noise.
That's
What are your
fucked.
thoughts on that?
I think the APD does that constantly with pretty much everything. They are notorious for lying, notorious for framing people. How many of our cops have shot random people and then been right back on the force?
my
the
God,
next
what did that
people?
say?
How many of our cops have shot
Lost police misconduct costs exceeded 73 million of the past decade, report signed. I'm not trying to be like play it down, but like I feel like that's not too crazy of a number. Because like one lawsuit can go up to $5 million.
random people and
Probably one of them.
then right back on the
Yeah,
force
I
the
agree
next
too.
day. I don't trust the
Not
cops
trying to
ever.
downplay it,
Never
but-
will, never have. They'll put up big old like
Allegedly.
cement stars all over the bridges and stuff that cost millions, but they can't put up a damn street light to save somebody's life. I also think like, a lot of the guys that they're finding are homosexual, and so I think like, we're in Texas and they kind of just like shoo that shit under a rug and hide it, so that there's a lot of hate in this city.
And if you
Yeah.
see some kind of suspicious things going on, or if you sense then I think you should call 911.
I agree. In a perfect world, call 911. But if 911 doesn't give a rip, or they gaslight you into thinking this is a nothing burger, then I don't know what the solution is besides taking the shit into our own hands, getting the information out to the public, and bringing out as much information as we can to the public. Question for you, sir. Do you think there's a serial killer in Austin, Texas?
I mean, that's a pretty steep bank over there, so I can see it happening, but at the same time, it's happening a little too often. I mean, there's no bars down
Nearly
there.
every other month now.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard reports from both, but you know what? I'm gonna lean that there is. Yeah.
Does this concern you, the existence potentially of a serial killer or a marauder on the streets or disconnected individual murders, perhaps?
I think so. I mean, I live on Rainy, so it's definitely a bit of concern. But I've tended to not go out here as much just as a result. But yeah, it's definitely something I stay wary of. I'm not going to be walking out there at night.
He wants to be interviewed. All right. How you doing, sir? Do you think there's a killer out here?
Yes.
Yeah?
I absolutely do. Well, there's no way you could stumble into the water. It's like a 30-foot buffer between the sidewalk and the river. Only if you could go down the ramp, but they're located at different places. And there's just no way. You can't be roofied and stumble that much. You're going to pass out before then.
Do you think the APD is gaslighting the public into thinking there's nothing going on?
Absolutely. I mean, they don't want to scare people. Are you the Ripper? Are you the Ripper?
That's a valid question. I'm not the Ripper.
Because that would be a perfect cover. You could interview somebody. You could walk them down to the river. You could say, hey, take a look at the river. There's some fish down there, some turtles. And then you strangle them and throw them in the water.
Is that an accusation?
I'm throwing out.
I like your predisposition to question anyone and everyone. And that's what I'm here to do as well. Not to say you should trust me, because you shouldn't. And it could be anyone. And I'm not trying to fearmonger either. Do you think there may be a serial killer out here?
Yes, and that's
Based,
that's based only off of Reddit threads that I've read, okay?
Dude, I've actually seen somebody, like the cops wheel a body up from the actual lake.
Okay.
So, yeah, and you know, it's, I've heard lots of different stories. I'm actually on a Facebook group.
So am I.
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of theories too. There's a super weird guy that lives in my apartment, and I saw him in a black hoodie, and he was walking down to the lake, like on the boardwalk alone at like 1 in the morning. So that was super weird, so.
All right, you guys enjoy your walk. Buddy system, stay safe, don't drink too much. Bye-bye.
Actually, I have a guy in my building actually drowned in
Thank you, Alex.
like 2 years, like a year and a half ago.
He drowned?
Yeah, well,
Allegedly?
allegedly. I think that it's drunk man. I mean, they're all like, 30-year-old men who aren't afraid to walk in that sketchy area. I'll tell you,
Yeah.
I live like right near the right off the bridge, like walking distance from here. And I mean, they found the guy in my building. They found him like he didn't even have water in his lungs. Just found
Which
him.
doesn't make sense.
And he had AirPods in his pocket that were still working. He was supposedly there for a week. That doesn't really make sense.
So out of genuine curiosity myself, as someone who is a decent swimmer but nothing special, I decided to slam 6 shots myself on an empty stomach to simulate how easy or difficult it would be to walk all the way over into Lady Bird Lake and drown.
Holy fucking shit! Morgie! Surprise shotty! Bro, what an amazing surprise from an amazing motherfucking girl. Chat! Shout out to Morgie. We're over halfway to our sub goal thanks to our girl. I appreciate the fuck out of you. God damn, that was a good surprise. Thank you. Hope you had a great day at school, practice, whatever. I appreciate you so much. God damn! God damn!
We should officially
Chat,
scientifically
get some
be
W's in
technically
chat. Get some
intoxicated.
purple hearts in
After
chat
roughly
for our girl.
10.5 minutes
Right?
of walking
Right,
and
motherfucking
talking,
Neil.
I'd made my way to the most convenient point of entry I could see into the Lady Bird Lake water. There's no chance I would drown out here. I'm no Michael Phelps. There is zero
He's
chance
wearing
in hell during
he's
the
wearing
daytime that I would
big bulky Air Forces and a suit after taking 6 shots straight to the dome on an empty stomach. Love you, Maury. I'm so glad you joined the community, bro. You've been an amazing part of this family. Really hope that police do something about it. Me too, okay. Stay safe. Guys, get yourself a little pocket knife, get yourself a karambit, get yourself pepper spray, a gun if you feel comfortable with it, etc. Get something to defend yourself. Hey, bro, if someone tries something on you versus them and whoever's got the upper hand wins. This is how it is. That's why, like, I'm not even like cordless hole puncher, some brass knuckles. Not brass knuckles, those are illegal to have. I wouldn't recommend getting brass knuckles. Something legal, so if you get pulled over by cops or you're just minding your own business, you don't go to jail. Which is kind of crazy. Brass knuckles are illegal compared to a lot of things. No way, yeah. Brass knuckles, I'm pretty sure, are illegal in every state. If you get caught with those, I'm pretty sure especially if they're concealed, I'm pretty sure you can like get a felony charge. But like I'm not like I like guns decently. I'm not like, oh, I want to go shoot guns like all the time, but like I always carry my gun with me wherever I go because like if somebody wants to hurt me, if somebody wants to do this. What about copper knuckles? Yeah, what about titanium knuckles? Like if someone's gonna hurt me, like the gun's probably I always carry a gun and a knife. Like, and they have a gun and I don't, I lose. And I don't like losing, not to lose. So, it's just kind of my thoughts on it and how I fucking go about it. Cop took my pepper spray? Why? Got a few options of what I'm feeling today. Yeah, one of my favorite things is my little karambit knife I carry because it pops open quick. Grab onto it. It's got a good handle. You're a lot less likely to cut yourself with it. And I have my 9mm I did have a concealed carry permit, but here for North Carolina, I didn't get one for any other state I've been in. But here in Utah, you don't have to have a concealed carry permit. Very concealed. A lot of other states are going to that. Like this.
But there are many factors to consider here, of course. Just how drunk you are, water temperature, and the speed of the current. But let's take Martin, a big guy who's really good at.
This is something I'd honestly recommend to anyone.
Of and a couple of.
This right here is a 22. Now a 22, unless you shoot him in like the eye or the head, might not kill him, but it'll stop him.
Other calibers as well.
It's $300 to order.
I think it's supposed to look like a credit card, and it's actually some pretty sweet James Bond shit. This picked up not mine. This is actually Elliot's from Mr. Guns. I was over there buying a gun. I actually picked up a pretty sweet 1-inch 357 Magnum revolver. Your guy's gonna backup gun. I think it was actually his third backup gun. So how this little motherfucker works is you pop it out like this. You can see your trigger guard here, and then if you want to load the gun, you pull this tab back. Open your chamber here. You can single load a 22 or a 22 mag depending on what your gun is chambered in. Lock it back, and that's how you cock it. And the way you fire it, obviously, is to pull the trigger. Now, the issues with this gun are going to be that the grip is very small, absolutely no texture. Trigger's a little rough. Obviously, the ergonomics are not a huge factor here. But the real issue for me was the style playing with it than I did with the original. Still hard. Shit show of a video, and also on that just kit institute. I had two things. You're shooting the fucking. I thought I could hit from here. It seems like I should be able to hit from here.
Yeah, but if someone's grabbing you on you, pull that thing out, keep it loaded, cock it back, pop them to 22, they're gonna back off.
It's easier shooting the fucking pen gun. Here, try it again.
With these things, you gotta aim like, well, with mine at least, you had to aim like super low with it.
Okay, that's good to know.
Like it's not gonna be good for a distance shot or anything like that, but if somebody's up on you.
I can't see where you're hitting.
Yeah, you just gotta get point of aim and then
there will not.
I'll figure. I'm gonna aim
in front of it.
There
you go. Where are you aiming?
About 5 foot in front of the target on the ground.
Oh, fair enough. Hey, how about that? 5 yards, something like that.
Yeah, but they're called Life Card 22. And it's a 22, so it's not a handgun, so you don't have to have any kind of special permit for it. It'll bust through a windshield. It'll bust through a windshield. It'll go through somebody's ribs. Baby gun now. So it's not considered a handgun. You can carry it concealed, put it in your pocketbook. You can't take it onto like a government property. It's like no schools or anything still. So like don't carry it to school or to like the courthouses or anything like that because you'll get in trouble. But hoping I don't need a gun. That's what everyone says. And like I hope so too. I really do hope so. But I still carry one. Called the 22 Life Card. I'll type in chat. Like I said, I've looked it up. I've even thought about getting one myself. But I mean I have a gun now. I have 2 guns. And Life Card, yeah. And yeah, it's selling $300, which isn't bad. You just keep a little 22 round in it, just pop it up, cock it, and like if someone's attacking you, just get as close as you can to their body, just pop them. And like I said, unless you put it like up to their eye or like maybe their skull, it might crack through their skull and touch their brain. Probably won't kill them, but they'll for sure back the fuck off. If you put it on their thigh, you hit an artery, they'll bleed out, but it'll for sure go through them or go into them. Oh yeah, of course, turd.
That swimming only 2 drinks in wouldn't exactly be hammered and unable to get out of the water. Not saying it's impossible, but it seems unlikely.
Keep in mind, the big clincher here is that it is dark.
But let's go back to Mitch's simple yet compelling point about money. Why would the APD or the city of Austin not want the public to know there's a serial killer if there was one? Apparently in 2022, visitor spending generated $8.2 billion.
Listen, this is the only country like this. For every 1 person in the United States, there's 50 guns. We're the only country that has more guns in civilians' hands than we have more guns in civilian hands than other people's entire militaries. So guns in America,
$837 million in local taxes, and helped sustain 146,000 plus jobs. So I went back to Rainey Street on the weekend to see if visitors from out of state would still visit and drink in Austin if there was a known serial killer on the loose.
If you guys knew there was a serial killer in Rainey Street, would you be less inclined to come down here and drink?
Yeah, because what the This is our first time in general coming here, and I was a little bit familiar with that situation. I thought it was on.
Maybe. We don't know. They're targeting dudes, allegedly. It's right here, Rainey.
I'm gonna go now. But yeah, okay.
If you knew there was a serial killer, would you come out here and drink?
I mean, if I was around people.
If you had a squad?
Yeah, typically.
But not solo?
If he was active, probably not.
Like, on a night like this, pretty busy for Rainey these days, would you feel comfortable
What
coming
up,
out
Sleep
here,
Brown?
taking 6 shots, walking over there?
Probably not.
Sussed out? Are you a pretty strong guy? You can fight in a 1v1? What are you thinking?
I ain't worried about it. We're always a bunch of guys, man. I mean, if it's just one guy, if I'm with my group of friends, I think. I just said that. I said that we're a lot of guys, so we ain't worried about that.
Exactly. I'm a little anxious because I know what's going on, and I mean, a lot of people
You knew about the gunshot to the head, hands behind the back.
Yeah. In that hog tie position, like found in the water, that's not a suicide, bro.
Okay, if it was confirmed 100%,
They're
would
not
you
the
still
best
feel
for
comfortable coming down
self-defense.
here?
Hell yeah.
Yeah?
What am I be scared of?
If there was confirmed a serial killer out here, would you guys feel comfortable coming down and drinking?
Yes, because it's my bachelorette party and I would have a good time.
13 dead bodies last 2 years, found dead right over there. Question for you. If you knew there was
Damn.
a serial killer confirmed on Rainey Street, would you feel comfortable coming down here with the boys? Probably not.
Sure.
Yeah,
I think
a
so.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, anytime I fly and travel and I don't have my, weapons with me, I do feel less safe, less secure.
I would say no, but we are in Texas, and you try with the wrong one, you don't have to worry about you don't got to worry about it.
All right, so I'm not from Austin, but before coming to Austin, they were like, be careful on Rainey because there's a guy that's killing people, and he's specifically going for guys that are drunk and probably gay. I did a little research on it, but not too much, so that's all I know. So I got all my buddies here, and we're all staying safe. We got buddy system.
But I do understand the concerns, especially when you're drinking out here. It could be one of these bartenders.
100%. A little GHP.
It's not about fitting in your purse. So like, for example, like a shotgun, you gotta cock it, you gotta move it around across your body. Same thing with a sword. If somebody's up on you, you're not gonna be able to swing it. You're not gonna be able to get a good slice. That's why like one of the most dangerous weapons isn't even a gun; it's a knife. Like if they when I graduated from police academy. When I graduated college, I was planning on being a police officer before becoming a streamer. And one of the most dangerous things is a knife. For example, they say within 20 feet, if you have a gun holstered, like in your pants or whatever, and someone has a knife, they can close the distance within 20 feet before you can get the gun out, aim, and take a good shot, unless you're really trained with it and you can pull it out really quick or something like that. But for the most part, if someone's close to you and they have a knife, even if you have a gun, they're probably going to get you before you can get anything. So, katana, shotgun, an AR, that's why I always keep one chambered in my 9mm. I have a sealed holster that fits in right here in my pants, so I can just pull it out as quick as I can, ready to fire. Well, like I said, when I was in police academy, they showed simulations, and they even had us do simulations. Stood 20 feet back, fake knife, fake gun in a holster. They would charge us, and we had to unholster and get ready. And of course, like a police holster, it's got the defensive clip on it, so you gotta push it down, pull it out to blow the gun out, so it's a little faster. But they just showed in a real life scenario how different it'd be, especially if you're not expecting it. So it's kind of different. Like I said, even trained police officers can't do it. So it's not even a person thing.
You're out of here.
We had no idea, man.
Yeah.
It's just reality.
Bringing it to our attention, I'm aware. I gotta be aware. Thank you for telling the people.
Buddy system, watch them open the drink.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys.
Have fun. Would you guys come here as a sort of destination experience if confirmed you knew there's a serial killer here in Rainey Street?
Well, to be honest, man, there's every corner in the world, there's somewhere that's dangerous. That's not going to stop you from living your life. Just got to be more cautious, that's all.
It wouldn't necessarily stop me. It may even bring interest.
To no surprise, it was not common knowledge regarding the deaths found near Rainey Street, and a serial killer didn't seem like it was a major concern for anyone coming out here to get drunk. But how spooky was the trail near the water at night? And are Austin locals afraid to go near it when it's dark outside?
Okay, I'm here with
Manny.
Manny, I just interrupted your workout. Where are we at right now?
We're currently here in front of 44 East.
Okay. How close are we to Lady Bird Lake right now?
Literally three steps.
Okay. Have you heard about the missing men?
No.
Oh, wait. I have.
Okay,
Sorry.
no, you're good. You fit the profile, as do I think, right?
Yes, one, I'm in my young 20s. I'm gay. I live here on Rainy, so it's something I should be concerned. As y'all can tell, I work out a lot, so.
That's right. So what are your
As y'all
thoughts? You
could
live out
tell,
here, you fit the
chill.
profile.
I go out every night.
Do you ever think about like any safety protocols or?
Honestly, I really don't care.
Okay.
I know it sounds really bad, but I really don't care.
No, it's fair.
I mean, nothing has happened. Maybe tonight's the night.
Okay.
Maybe.
Now, once you walk past the newly built park I found Manny in, right by the apartment complexes, how dark does it get? Are there any lights? And is anyone hanging out here? We're gonna go for a little walk into the darkness right now. See if we find anything unusual. It's a peaceful night, 97 degrees. Not sure what this is. Hello.
Damn, Tyler brave for that.
Okay, that is not what we want to see. We got some clothing on the ground. Hello! A little bit creepy. Excuse me. Question for you. He fits the demo. Do you think there's a serial killer out here?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah?
That's why I always carry a knife.
Oh, wait, can I see the knife? Yeah, that is very smart. PSA to the ladies out there. Protect yourself. Be safe.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's actually
Doesn't
smart.
need to
See ya.
get killed
There's
and
a
taken
serial
as a
killer
threat.
out here.
Do I think so?
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay.
But that could be just me being like stubborn.
Yeah.
But I also live right here.
Okay.
And it does get, as you can see, it does get really dark. It, you know,
Right
it can be easy to
mind.
fall.
Yeah, dude.
Okay. You live around here, I assume?
I can
Yeah,
only
I live
imagine.
one of these towers over
I
here.
went to Austin for
So-
2 days when I lived in
people
Texas. and-
stumbling and yapping about deep out here?
Not really.
Okay.
No.
Do you know why there are no trail cams or lights out here? Is there
That's
like
a really good question.
Okay.
Lights are new, so I think they're trying to work on it. I don't know the situation.
think there may be something going down here, or just a
Yeah,
string
you
of
think they'd put some
unconnected?
street lamps out
I don't personally. I don't think so.
Yeah.
But I'm not like writing it off or anything.
Yeah.
It is concerning that people are drowning.
Sure. My main observation right now is it is dark as
there in
out here.
Dallas. Yeah, I spent most of my time
Hello!
in Dallas.
There's not a soul peeping out here on a Monday. Oh, hey there. What's up?
Get out of here.
What the f?
Go over there.
What the f did I do? I'm talking to folks.
People on list.
Huh?
Know them.
Wait, what?
You say,
No, I don't know you.
and you must, in this day and era,
Wait, what?
represent yourself via some other person
Excuse me?
or send some sort of
Bro,
mail
that's
somewhere.
this is the guy Turk's talking about, chat.
No, sir.
I don't know.
I'm talking to people. Ask them questions about the Rainy Street Killer.
Find your own answers to your questions.
What do you mean?
Move along.
Alright.
There you go. You don't know how to have a conversation in the sense of anything more than
Are you from England, sir?
you're still asking questions.
All right.
Move on.
All right. Chill.
What do you think you are? I'll show you a fucking toe.
Calm down.
You fucking puss.
Hey, calm down.
What you are?
I'm gonna slice you up and then a homophobic slur.
All right.
That
he said
fits
he's
the
gonna
MO.
Slice me up and fucking kill me, faggot. Hey, you. We gotta make some distance.
Don't stop and don't engage.
I
Tyler's
definitely sense
comments.
some murderous aura coming from him. Regardless,
corporate and
let's go walk back to
pretentious.
the car.
I
Regardless of the
liked
cause of
all
death,
the
amount of people.
I loved about Dallas was like everyone's like fucking cowboy hat, fancy, button up shirt, chest out, jeans, cowboy boots, big Hummers, big Jeeps lifted up, big trucks, the fucking Pit Viper glasses on. Like I just fucked it up. I don't even dress like that or do that shit. I just like the vibes, you know what I mean? It was cool. Everyone's like, fuck yeah, we're from Texas. Like it was dope. I like the vibe. Everyone had lots of tattoos, jacked as fuck. I used to love Hummers. Can't afford to drive those bitches anymore.
People found dead in this water. It doesn't make sense why there's still no lighting or
The
cameras
gyms
on
in
the
Dallas
trail.
are
And the only
poppin',
person
I'll
I
say
found
that.
who wasn't on a walk or a run I really saw on this trail at night was who I believe to be a homeless British man who said he was gonna kill me. Which in a roundabout way leads me to Chris Clark, a 30-year-old homeless man who was found dead in the water. Keep in mind, most of the other dead men were found after drinking on Rainy Street and were not homeless.
Yeah.
Here's what Regan, the mother of Chris's child, had to say.
They consider him a transit, is what they call him, Austin Police Department.
which is another word for homeless.
Got it.
I instantly thought it was Austin Police Department because even before I got the footage, when I found out he was dead, I felt like
I love
it
her
was
Rick
Austin
and Morty
Police
shirt
Department
reel.
because of the history that they had, and I just know that it was never good between Chris and the
Rick and
Austin
Morty.
Police Department. So
Rick
I
and Morty.
automatically
Rick,
thought like
Rick,
the police
Rick.
did this to him just to get rid of him because it can be a lot when you're dealing with someone with mental illness and stuff like that. And I know from my own experience dealing with him and trying to help him, it was a lot sometimes. Unfortunately,
there
last
in
year, April
2022.
15th to be exact, he was found here in Lady Bird Lake on the Ann Butler Bridge. They just said that Chris was found dead in the lake. Me and Chris met each other in 2009.
Absolutely
We were in high
stupid.
school. We started to date, and then
Hope Dallas
probably
never
6 months
changes.
later, I was pregnant at 16 with our son, his only son, both of our only kid. We dated for 10 years on and off. After 10 years, we kind of just, remained friends just because it didn't work out. He struggled with mental illness, also drug addiction, so that also played a part into why we didn't last as a relationship, but we always remained friends. He was a good dad. When it happened, it was very, very hard for me.
First
So
day
that
on Earth,
Monday,
dude. That's
I
everywhere,
didn't
though,
think
bro.
anything of it. I just jumped into action and I started to try to do and get whatever information I could.
I think you would like
I started
Utah
off by
turkey.
trying to call the detective that was working the case. That I didn't speak to him until probably like 2 months later.
2 months after his passing.
Right. He ended up calling and returning my call after I kept calling. And
It's
basically,
worth
he
it.
just said to
I'll
me
say
that,
this.
what?
With my next YouTube video, I'm gonna record myself walking down Main Street of Provo, and Provo is like the second most like prominent town in Utah besides Salt Lake, and like especially when I go for like a run or a jog and I don't have my shirt on, like, bro, everyone's head's just like the fuck is that? It's like the town I live in, like here, like this is crazy. I'll show you. The town I live in is 88% Mormon. It's the highest in the state for Mormons. 88% people in Provo is they're Mormons. So it's very calm, very chill, very very pretty and clean. Little to no homeless people. I've seen very few homeless people, and when I do see them, they're not like the homeless people I've seen in Vegas. They're not like the homeless people I've seen where else. They're not strung out on drugs. They look more down on their luck. Looks like they've had a handicap where they've lost their job. Like I saw this dude with no legs just sitting in a wheelchair under a tree. So but for example, like I've lived in New York, I lived in Charlotte, I've lived in Florida, I've lived in Texas, and like those homeless people are legit like tweakers. Mormons classy, upkept. They're just not tweakers, I would say. Ooh, Mormons classy. I mean, it's not that they're like they are very like they're uptight and like they seem a little judgmental, but like they're nice to your face. But like I'll say this, Mormons have like an obsession with keeping their appearance and keeping an appearance of Mormon faith and Mormon people very clean on the outside to outsiders because they've had so much bad press. And I've a lot of Mennonite too. Yeah, they're Mennonites out here. And yeah, they're very like exactly. And I do know and hear the sketchiness actually happens when you're in the Mormon church in these Mormon communities. But they're like very like like fake smile, like no life, soulless eyes at you, like oh have a very blessed day, like type shit.
His exact words were, what does he want me to do when he has no information or no whereabouts to where Chris was?
And also, like I said, I didn't know any of this stuff when I moved to Provo. Kind of scary, actually, yeah. And this isn't like like political or any way or other. Provo is 96% white people. Like when I got here, I was like, bro, what the fuck? I was like, where's? I was like, what the fuck? Like it was weird because like I've lived in so many places that were predominantly African American, like like mixed, like this, and like here I was like Jesus Christ, you know what I mean? Creepy odd movie. They aren't that bad. They just aren't like everyone else. Mormons, like I wouldn't say all of them, but a lot of them have a weird dark side to them. Where's that diversity? I mean, like I said, there's just like not. I don't know why. Honestly, I mean, Probably because their faith is probably very opposing to a lot of cultures. Like for example, in Provo, it's they don't have alcohol or liquor in Provo. You got to go out of the city's limits to buy it. It's a dry town for liquor. You can buy only seltzers and beer here. And that they didn't allow. Yeah, there were a lot of towns like that here. And like so literally I live like 5 minutes from the BYU campus, Brigham Young University, is the biggest college in Utah. And yeah, but like I would say like maybe if I go out to Walmart or like if I walk around long enough, I'll see someone of that's not white, which is very strange to me. And like the food here, like the Asian food, Mexican food, doesn't taste nearly as good. I'll say that. Like I'll say that the food here isn't great. It's okay. It's not bad. Like I would say it's probably equivalent to North Carolina where I'm from. But like for example, Texas. Oh my god, bro. There was some fucking food in Texas that make me want to fucking cry. It was so fucking good. I'll say all places I've lived in every area of the United States. Out west, Texas, up north, Midwest, the South. I've lived in at least every like general area, and Texas has the best food, best restaurants, the most diversity in food, most options. Texas for sure, best food. No, for real, Turk. I'll say that, bro. There were so many like just restaurants you didn't ever heard of. You walk in and they're serving like just some like to die for fucking food.
See him when he was released to the funeral home.
Okay.
So,
Good luck
and
to
that was a
him.
little shady too. Funeral home, they were helpful, but I feel like they were kind of working or was told to do certain things because they kept saying like
Mormons,
to cremate him, cremate him.
Yo, thanks for the follow. Okay, War. One thing about Mormons is that I've learned they love Olive Garden. Holy fuck. There's so many fucking Olive Gardens here. They fuck that shit up, dude. Like they love Olive Garden. And listen, so Mormons don't drink coffee. They don't drink coffee or alcohol. And so they have like they open at 7 a.m. Like when a coffee shop would open, they have pop shops and it's soda shops. And you go in there. Are you able to move so often? Just my career with like streaming and TikTok, YouTube, everything like that. I don't really have a job that ties me down to an area. So like once a lease ends, I'll like find a new place to live. And just kind of live in that area, stream and just experience everything in that state. But you go in there and it's not like normal coffee. You like put your sodas are like mixed like different syrups and you make your own soda and they drink soda at like 7 a.m. in the morning, bro. Is that crazy? I'm gonna get in on it. I mean, no, people still drink coffee, but so there's different types of Mormons. They're like your average Mormon who's probably more secular, like worldly, I guess, and they'll drink coffee. I'm sure they drink time to time. But then there's the Church of Latter-day Saints, and those are the Mormons are like no caffeine, no showing your ankles, secular, yeah, no this, no that. And then there's like a couple weird like off branch shoots. So like there's different sects to it, but like the Church of the Latter-day Saints, they're the strict motherfuckers that are kind of scary. And like they have like their own gated communities. They have like those crazy weird temples, and then like the Mormons, like I said, if you're just Mormon, it's not as like strict and devout, but they're still a lot different than your average religious person, I'd say.
Didn't want to cremate him because I always knew Chris's wishes
Like
was to not
Latter-day
be
Saints,
cremated,
their whole
but the funeral
world
home kept
revolves around the
suggesting
Book of
that
Mormon.
it's
Whole
because
life.
of the deterioration, because he'd been in the water so
Everything they
long,
do
the
from
smell.
sunup
The
to sundown.
funeral director said the only way he could let us see him is if me, my mom, and Chris's cousin Jasmine signed a paper saying that we won't sue the funeral home for any mental breakdown or emotional stress.
okay.
We met him at King Tears on 12th Street, and then he kind of just had him in the body bag, and it was just the face up that they let us see, and instantly I broke down crying. The thing that stood out to me the most when I did see him was he had like a gash from here, from the top of his forehead to the top of his eyelids.
Yeah,
and that was weird to me because they kept saying that there was no foul play or stuff like that. So I asked the medical examiner after I called, and I said, so why did he have a gash? She first acted like she didn't
I
know
should
what I was
make a
talking
video
about,
talking
and
to
then she
Mormon
backed it up real
people,
fast and
like,
said, "Oh,
on the
it's skin
streets, like
slippage.
Tyler does.
It was due to skin slippage." And you know, I listen to a lot of crime podcasts, things like that. I'm not a detective. I didn't go to school for anything, but I'm not dumb either.
What did the autopsy reveal that Chris's official cause of death was?
They deemed it undetermined.
How did you feel about that lack of answer?
I felt very upset. Just like I told the detective, like, I know something happened to him.
I would honestly ask him, like, we'll finish this video. I'm getting way too off topic.
Do you think the police and the investigators put
Back
as
to
much
Texas.
dedication and care and time into looking for the cause of death?
I feel like they really wanted to just close the case just because of who he was, because he had these problems with the Austin Police Department. He was mentally unstable, and he also was on drugs. You know, that is wrong, because Chris was a son, he was a parent, you know, he did have siblings, two to be exact, and he had grandparents, you know, that, they're not here, but he had family, and people actually cared about him a lot. I'm gonna be honest, my son misses his dad every day. He wants to know what happened to his dad, you know, to know your 13-year-old son is Googling, you know, his dad's name and Lady Bird Lake and stuff like that, and then it's just like, I have no answers for him. I can't even give him a, yes, he was murdered, yes, this was an accident, and I've said it before, if it was an accident, if this happened, you know, mysteriously to be on him, on Chris, then, you know, let me know that. But I don't think Chris put himself in this water. They kept saying it, that the detective actually said that he thinks that he fell asleep.
Okay.
And fell in the water, but I don't think that was true. They treated him like he was a dog found on the streets. That's how I worded it to the detectives, that's how they were treating him. The Austin Police Department, I've said it before, they should be ashamed of themselves. I think that Austin Police Department is hiding something from the public. I think that they're hiding what's going on around this lake, and they don't want us to know for whatever reason. My thing is, they don't want to scare the tourists away, seeing how Austin is growing, and that's bullshit to me, because this is real life for me.
With both Mitch and Regan under the belief that the APD utterly failed in their investigation of their loved one's death, I reached out to local Austin journalist Jamie, and here was his experience looking into these cases. So, in your opinion, is the APD transparent with these bodies that are being found in the water and the cause of death, or?
No, they're not. And, you know, I had a friend that works in Austin Police that we talked quite a bit about these deaths. And here in the last few months, Austin Police have locked these files down to only the investigator working it and his manager. Basically, there is no access to these cases anymore. Not only that, but if any of these officers are found to be talking about it, giving them, you know, like the monikers, the Rainy Street Ripper, what they're being reprimanded and punished for that. I think the reason that they just basically refuse to even answer the question about a serial killer, because if you ask them directly about it, like in a press conference that they hold, they basically just, you know, kind of shake their head and move on. They won't even acknowledge that people are asking those questions. Now, I'm not saying all of the bodies are connected. I think there's a handful, about 4 or 5 that are connected. The thing that really makes me want to ask questions is if the city of Austin really thought that men were just accidentally walking off into the water and killing themselves, they would have something up over there that would stop this.
I think it goes back to the point you made earlier too about some of these cases being closed. It's like it may be closed on paper, but it's not closed for a family member. It's become a number at this point, and each of these people really are people, and that's what does suck, is that when I say 12 bodies have been found in the last 2 years, yes, we do know their names, but it's like we're just saying 12. We're saying now it's 13. It's like it does suck, because I'm like, that's so many people in 2 years' time in the same spot.
Accidental drownings, no foul play.
I hate to play devil's advocate. It's like I get where everyone's coming from, but I also get that there's always the possibility that we do like to drink. Like so, and that's what is so frustrating to so many people, is that even journalists are telling you this, that like we don't know.
People need to start pushing the city and the police department to acknowledge that there's fear and there's something going on, and they're not going to be able to just ignore it. The more people that come out, the more people that put pressure on them, the more they are going to feel pressure to actually answer those calls.
Please, if anybody has information, I do have a justice page for Chris. It's Justice for Chris Clark. It's under my name, Regan Aparicio, with Chris's photo. So shoot me a DM, anything. I'm here. I just want answers.
If you know anything about anything, seriously, like even the minimal hint or something that something's going on, don't hesitate to reach out. I mean, everyone still has my number, everyone still has my social media account. My name is Mitchell Gutierrez. You can reach me, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram. You tell me if you know anything, I will always respond.
I reached out to the APD requesting an interview, and in less than 2 hours, they declined.
Damn. Hey, at least they got back to him about his interview quick, but not the families of the missing people.